It's Kathy, your happy body physical therapist, and today I cannot wait to talk to you about the most important thing that you should do during pregnancy and postpartum, and quite honestly throughout all of our lives. People ask me all the time, what's the number one thing that I should do, in the first week having had a baby, or during pregnancy I don't have time for anything, what should I do? And my answer is almost always breathe. Breathe. But how do you breathe? And what does it mean to diaphragmatically breathe? So I want to spend a little bit of time teaching you about that and then running through a very quick, simple exercise that could take you just as short as 2 minutes, but be very important to connect you to your body, to your baby, or to your postpartum body, wherever you happen to be in that phase. So let's talk about what diaphragmatic breathing really is. Well, at the bottom of our ribs, all the way around to the back, is a muscle called the diaphragm, and it's domed and it curves upward. From the glottis in our throats all the way down to our pelvic floor is one closed canister of pressure, one pressure system. Within that pressure system, we have different cavities. We have our pleural cavity, which houses our lungs, separated by the diaphragm to go right into that abdominal cavity and then right down into our lower pelvic cavities. So when you diaphragmatic breathing, or we sometimes call that belly breathing, we say breathe into your belly. The reality is that the air or the oxygen isn't really going down into your belly. What's happening is that your lungs are filling and the diaphragm is losing its dome and starting to flatten out. And by doing so, it simply displaces your abdominal cavity downward and therefore outward. And that in turn very subtly displaces and pushes downward on your pelvic floor. So you inhale and your belly should gently rise and your pelvic floor should relax, and you exhale and the pelvic floor should lightly contract, almost imperceptible. The belly falls and the air comes out. A great way to start with this is place one hand on your chest and one hand on your abdomen. Another option for this upper hand is you could place it on a lateral rib wall here. When you're at rest and you're not like just sprinting or running, you don't want to be breathing up here. You want this to be saved for athletic endeavors, hard work, exertion. When you're just calm and relaxed, or trying to be calm and relaxed, this shouldn't move. Just a very subtle, not forced, subtle rise and fall of your belly. This is called passive diaphragmatic breathing. You're not forcing your belly out. You're not forcing it down. You're simply tuning into your body's natural rhythm of breathing. This is so important for stress management. A lot of us get stressed and we're up here. We're tense, we're tight through the shoulders. Or maybe you've had an abdominal surgical procedure, an appendectomy, a C-section, gallbladder, numerous other things. And that leads you to being kind of tight and tense and not wanting or feeling safe to let your belly open and expand and fall. And another thing that us females deal with is body image. And we all think, or many of us think, that we need to keep it sucked in all the time and we can't let that go. That's not true. It's normal, again, to have the rise as you inhale and the fall as you exhale in your abdomen. You can try this sitting, lying down, standing on your side, you name it. But I want you to find your passive diaphragmatic breathing. This also helps to reduce stress and anxiety. It helps us with our mental health and depression. It helps to calm our worries and put us to sleep when it's time for bed. So keep that in mind, diaphragmatic breathing. But now let's jump forward to this active phase of diaphragmatic breathing. What I mean by that is now you inhale and you stay relaxed, but right at the top of that inhale, I want you to initiate your exhale by tightening your pelvic floor. Those muscles that sit between your tailbone in the back, pubic bone in the front, and your sits bones out to the side. So you're going to inhale. At the top of the inhale, Lift your pelvic floor. Draw those points together. Gently begin to feel these bones right here pulling in together toward each other, and the air comes out. Whew, that is so much to take in. Rewind the video. Watch it again. It takes practice, especially if you've had interruptions in your body's healing. Or maybe you're pregnant, or maybe you're postpartum. Maybe you're just super stressed out. But pay attention to that and really listen to this rhythm. So inhale into the belly at the top of the inhale. Initiate contraction through your pelvic floor. Feel your lower bones pulling together. That's your transverse abdominis coming together, and you're exhaling the whole time. Inhale and let it all go. The letting go is just as important as the contraction. Let the tension go. Let your belly relax. Let your pelvic floor drop. Let's do that again. Inhale. Right at the top of that inhale, exhale. Initiate with your pelvic floor. Wrap that transverse abdominis. It comes all the way from the back and comes forward like you've got laces, and we're lacing it up right in the front, and you're exhaling. This is active. You are actively, consciously pulling those muscles together. Very important postpartum. You can do this because I know in the postpartum phase you have no time for yourself. It's all about the baby. But you have to breastfeed, or you have to bottle feed the baby. So when you're sitting in the chair, get yourself nice and upright, feet on the floor. You could be holding your baby, breastfeeding or bottle feeding. Inhale. Initiate with the pelvic floor. Feel that contraction, wrapping that abdominal wall. Exhale. Your baby's going to sense the calmness that's washing over your body. Now let's say your baby's maybe not in your arms. Maybe your baby's still inside. Consider this a hug. You're hugging your baby, wrapping around. Maybe you're a breastfeeding baby and a pregnant mama all at once. You're taking care of the baby on the outside and the baby on the inside while taking care of yourself. So again, let's inhale. Top of that inhale, initiate the contraction at your pelvic floor. Wrap that lower abdominal wall. Feel free to make some sounds as you're exhaling. Or maybe fogging the mirror, I call that one. Long, slow exhales. So we've gone over passive breathing, and that was active breathing. And now I'm going to take you to what I call a layered abdominal breathing. Now in this phase, when you're going to have to breathe in, but you're going to be holding this contraction. So you're going to have to take a breath up here. You're going to be holding the abdominal wall, so you're not going to let the breath expand down here. It's going to come up here. And I'm going to walk you through this. This literally takes 1 minute, and it will change the strength and the awareness and the awakening of your pelvic floor and your abdominal wall. Again, if you're postpartum, you're putting your body back together where you were expanded before. If you are pregnant now, you're going to be hugging that baby, wrapping that baby, rocking that baby during this whole exercise. So here we go. Start with an inhale into the belly. Now this time, exhale. Lift your pelvic floor. Start by wrapping that lower transverse abdominis. Now it's time for the inhale. Hold this. Keep the pelvic floor going. Keep that transverse abdominis. Now add in another layer right here. See my fingertips? Lace that. Hold that. Don't let either one go. Inhale again. Even a stronger pelvic floor contraction. Lacing again from the bottom to the middle, now up to the top. All that breath is coming out. Do not let this contraction go. One last one. As you exhale, even tighter, lacing it all up, keeping that pelvic floor engaged. Don't let go. Inhale and let it all relax. That was less than 60 seconds. I know it was. Now you can be layering that up and layering it up, but the key here is you're working on the quicker contraction. You're working on that endurance contraction. You're really finding the pelvic floor, really engaging your transverse abdominis all the way from the back up to the front, lacing it, holding it tight. Maybe you have a separation in your abdominal wall from when you were pregnant. Maybe you're pregnant and feeling that separation beginning. These are ways to reduce that diastasis rectus abdominis, or the DRA, and maintain the integrity while still making space for your baby, or baby's been vacated and now you're pulling it all back together to find that body that you want, find that core strength that you want. Please be gentle with yourself. These are not easy exercises. This is a video to watch repeatedly until you nail it down. Share it, like it, subscribe to the Happy Body PT, and stay tuned because I will be sending you more videos very shortly. Thank you. Bye.